Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back for my existing subscribers. Today I want to go over the actual new sights that are coming to Rainbow Six Siege. So we're getting several new sights. We're getting 1.5 times zoom. We're getting a new 1 time zoom, which is the holographic, and we're getting a new 2 time zoom, a new 3 times for DMRs, and our new red dot. So let's go over that. We'll start with the 1.5 time scope, which is my favorite so far. It has its flaws though. So one of the things I like about it is that you do get that 1.5 times zoom, so that helps out a lot. But you'll find that a lot of these sites have a lot of weird stuff going on. Like they have like the nubs that are hanging off of it, especially the 2 times scope, which I'll point out later. I feel like it's a little bit unnecessary. That I feel like they're a little chunky, but at the same time, they're real low profile, so they look really nice on certain guns like Warden's MP5. And you can see wherever they want to drive more operator usage, they kind of threw that sight together and let people have it. The biggest thing I don't like about it is I feel like it's like the Reflex. When the Reflex first came out, they had these insane the triangle was just way too chunky. So that's kind of what I feel about this. The ring is like really large, and then when you have a gun that has ADS, or not ADS, but the what can I call it? The front sights. The front sights actually stick up like Hibana's gun. It looks horrendous. So it looks really, really bad. So like it actually blocks the view of Hibana's ADS a little bit. Her actual front sights come up into the actual scope. So hopefully they do something about that. Maybe mount it a little higher or remove the front sights. I don't know what they can do. But they got to do something because it looks really, really bad. So moving on, we're going to go ahead and talk about the 2 times scope. Now, what's funny about the 2 times scope, it kind of looks like it's like a crown is hanging off to the side, like a king helmet, or a king crown is kind of hanging off the top of somebody's head, right? So that's kind of what it's a little bit distracting at first, but you do get used to it. A little bit, I like it better than the ACOG, just because the actual reticle is, to me, a little bit more accurate. I don't know, it's like one of those, the way quote unquote it feels a little bit more accurate, but obviously, it's all going to be up to the end user. But at the end of the day, if they could scale that back and take some of the extra pieces off, like I mentioned earlier, like I don't know why that nugget is there. You can't really use it in the game, so it's not like you can adjust your sight or adjust your sway of the reticle. So I don't know why it's there. If you could do something with it, that'd be dope. But it's just an aesthetic thing, and it looks hideous. Funny because it looks like there's a crown on the side of the sight, but in the game it actually does not look that good. Next we're going to talk about the 3x scope, which you can only get with the DMRs, which is kind of smart. It makes the DMRs look a lot more powerful in the game, to me. So when I was using Maverick, it was one of those things where I was like, okay, cool, his DMRs, it was already really good with the ACOG, and now you have a little bit more magnification, so 0.5 more. In the right hands, I feel like this is going to be lethal. It's kind of going to be like Callie all over again when she first came out. So if somebody already had good aim and they just give them a little bit more magnification, that could be a problem. Especially, like I said, if they're snappy, and with some of these DMRs like Dokkaebi, you can actually have the angle grip. It's gonna be wild, man. So we'll see how this plays out. See if they end up keeping this or removing it. It also, to me, has the cleanest housing. I wish they did this housing for the 2 times. Because it really doesn't have anything sticking out of it. And like I said, the reticle is probably the best out of all of them. As far as accuracy, got a pinpoint red dot. It reminds me of the VLK from Modern Warfare, as far as when you do ADS. So I think that's why I like it so much. But I probably won't be using it too much because I'm not really a DMR player. So it's just another good sight in the game. I do like what they're doing overall with bringing in new sights. It makes the game feel a little bit more fresh. We'll have to see how it actually plays out when the entire community has access to this. Some of the people I miss having the old sights on, I actually like them better. And some of the people I love having the new sights on, like Legion being able to see 1.5 times, that's really dope. Warden getting pretty much every new sight so that they can increase his pick rate. And I think that's why they did it. But that was one of those things I thought was really cool too, because it makes you feel a lot different. And then you have people with the same gun, but they don't have access to the same sight. So like Castle has the new reticle, the new holographic, but somebody like Pulse doesn't. So you'd have to actually choose, even in between using the same exact gun on defense. Different characters will have different sights. So once you start to get used to one, it'll start to grow on you. You get a little bit better with it, get proficient, and it will feel like any other sight after that. Now with these new sights, it's not all good. While the holographic, it's actually the one from Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I forget the name of it, but either way, it's the one from Ghost Recon Breakpoint. But at the same time, it's just really large. On Sam Fisher's gun, it looks okay, and the reticle is really bad. I tried to use this on Wamai, and it was an atrocity, bro. So I had it on the AUG, and it was like literally like I told my buddy, it was like putting a PC on top of an iPhone. So I didn't really like it. The reticle I also don't like. I feel like it's very distracting to have the two bars on the side, and it throws me off like when I first try the ADS, because there's not a lot of sites that are like that. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. If you can really pinpoint focus on the red dot in the middle, probably gonna be good for you. But if you're more like me and you pretty much acquire aim once you start ADSing, then it takes a while to get used to. So the last site we're gonna cover is gonna be the red dot. The red dot site, in my opinion, it's a welcome change. They didn't really change too much of it. You still have that little clasp on the bottom right, that little piece right there where you normally would change visibility, but it is what it is. Like I said earlier, you can't really do anything inside of Siege. The reticle looks a little bit cleaner though, and the casing, because it's standard, pokes out a lot more than the last red dot. The last red dot was like kind of really thick on top and just an oval, right? This one, it's a little bit elongated, so it kind of sticks out the front a little bit more, giving it more of an actual sight vibe. Probably won't use it though. I probably won't use it. I was never a fan of the red dot, even though on the old one. So, I mean, this one looks nicer, but I probably won't use it still. I'm probably gonna stick to the reflex. Hopefully, they give us the reflex that you get from Zophia's pistol, not Zophia's pistol, Clash's pistol, or what's her name, Nomad's AK. So that type of reflex is what I would love to see come to the game for more operators. So hopefully they do something like that. That would be dope. I would be all game for that. So yeah, this is kind of my take. My favorite one, if I had to pick, like I said, would be the 1.5 times scope. The reticle is not all that. If I could, I would take the 1.5 times zoom, and I would just shrink down the size of the reticle so that it didn't conflict so much and it wasn't so thick. Or just go ahead and kind of transition it over to do something more or less along the lines of what the red dot does. Just put one singular dot there and call it a day. But let me know what you guys thought about these sites. Hopefully it gave you some insight as to what's coming when the season does launch. I actually think it's going to be in the 14th, not next week. But we'll see what happens. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Be easy.